I'm Dr. Richard Katrenbone for About.com, and I'd like to talk about an overview of cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychologists tend to want to study issues that deal with things like attention, memory, problem solving, categorization, sensation and perception, judgment and decision making. How all those processes work are all key parts of cognitive psychology. The core focus is again the study of sort of mental events that presumably we all have a brain inside our skulls, but we can't always study every detail of the brain very effectively, although as more and more neurological techniques become available, that becomes less true. And so we often talk about processes and events and structures in the mind, this metaphorical thing that is not the brain, but that the brain presumably can account for. So things like memory and spreading activation are some core concepts that you might find in cognitive psychology research. Cognitive psychology is in some sense a response to behaviorism. In the earlier days of psychology, there were a variety of methods that people used for sort of studying human thought and human emotion. There was a time when it was believed that very strictly you'd want to talk about environmental factors and people's responses to them, their behaviors. And over time there was a development where researchers believed that you could study the inner workings of somebody's mind even if it didn't always involve overt behaviors. It's hard to pin a date as to when cognitive psychology as a separate discipline developed. I think the first textbook that was actually called Cognitive Psychology came out in the mid-'60s. But I think there are people who you could argue were doing cognitive-related research 20, 30, 40 years even before that. And that's an overview of cognitive psychology. For more information, visit About.com.